Bitcoin's sitting at around $110,000, right at the edge of a cliff. Will support holds? I'm going to talk about the target to the downside if this happens. And more importantly, what does it mean for altcoins? If you're an altcoin holder, how much downside do altcoins potentially have to go if this happens? I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to show you, but I'm going to because I have to. We have to look at all scenarios. You know I'm a macro bull, even still, even right now. So I'll look at that target for altcoin markets. The one thing that might kind of keep this from happening is a January 11th, 2021 type of altcoin move. This is what we want to see happen. It plays right into Bitcoin dominance, continuing its fall. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in if you're not in our intelligence system with our risk models. If you're a macro investor and you're kind of trying to take seriously taking profits this cycle, try us out. We have a free trial going on right now. Dig into the data. So I want to start just as a picture. Bitcoin dominance, as we know, has been falling in a manner in which it hasn't fallen for years, right? We've kind of hit this upper end of the Fibonacci that we were tracking for so long, and we've started falling below the 20-week, below the 50-week. Right now, we're getting a little bit of a bounce, and we could go up here to the 50-week. It's kind of this area I'm monitoring. It's around 60%, almost 61%. If Bitcoin dominance is going to trend upwards, we want to see that hold as resistance for continuation to the downside, right? Very similar to what happened back here. So what I want to do is I want to look at the Bitcoin chart, and this is not the most fun video. Let's put it this way. This is not like the type of video I like to do, but I do a lot of bullish content, as you know, but we're always anticipating moves to the downside along the way. And I just thought, you know what? Right now, Bitcoin is at a very critical area, and it's worthwhile to do this. I posted this like a week ago. 94,000 Bitcoin looking more and more likely. I should have put more and more possible, but there was a reason for this post. It would not be the beginning of a bear market, but yet another healthy higher low. It would really define the fact that we've never had a cycle like this. Long-term crypto value investors will win big at new highs. So let's discuss this. The $94,000 Bitcoin that I mentioned back then, this is, the moving average that I was looking at was the 50-week moving average. Right now, it's gone up since then, right? It's almost $96,000. But notice these previous swing lows, higher lows that Bitcoin had throughout this entire bull cycle. This move is like something we've never seen in these cycles. You go look at last cycle. We've talked a lot about this. Like it's just been kind of like bull market, boom, done, right? And then there's that swing low, one time, top, done. Now we're having like this continued consolidation, and we see it on our risk models all the time. I bring it up all the time. You go to the Bitcoin risk model, it's like insane suppression on the Bitcoin charts, even more so when you start looking at altcoin charts. But this trend though, right? We've already made our way, and this is why I'm doing this video, because I'm not saying this is absolutely going to happen, but it's very much in play, and we should be very prepared for this to happen. We have the 50-week moving average. We made our way to this area in August. We made our way to this area in April. And remember, there were fear events going on when this was happening, right? Let's keep that in mind. So it's not so easy just to be like, boom, we're going there again. But right now, if we did, the 50-week moving average is around $95,000 to $96,000. So this move is very much in play. I'm going to show you what this looks like on the altcoin market cap charts. And I'm going to look at also a flip side scenario where even if Bitcoin were to start consolidating to this target area, there could be a case, especially as we get ready to go into Q4, interest rates are about to start coming down, right? We could go into a very bullish environment, not just because of that and the business cycle perspective and the timing of that, but because of Clarity Act. I think there's a lot of bullishness going on. There's so much uncertainty, especially right now in terms of especially altcoins, but we could get a surprise. And I want to look at what that will look like on the altcoin charts. It could be a very similar type of move that happened kind of in this week of January 11th. But first, what I want to do is I want to show you this. This move to the 50-week moving average is in play. But on the weekly chart for Bitcoin, what I will be doing is watching, especially right now, we're seeing short-term support at the 20-week. Let's see if that can hold. Now, if we go look at the momentum oscillator of Bitcoin, I want to show you something that I'm paying very strong attention to. We see kind of a bearish divergence on Bitcoin, right? And I want to draw caution here. So like swing high, lower high, but all the while we're seeing higher high in price. Now that's bearish divergence. We're seeing momentum to the downside. This is something that happened consistently. If I go back to the 2017 bull market, right? What I mean by that is, check this out. We have lower high on momentum, higher high on price. Man, that's bearish divergence. Beginning of a bear market? No, not at all. We went higher. And then it happened again. Lower high on RSI, higher high on price. Oh man, bear market's in. That was the top. No, it wasn't the top. We're getting very similar type of vibe right now, right? These lower highs that are happening. And really, it is just constant cooling off of Bitcoin price. There is a ton of room for upside, especially as we do prepare to go into Q4 of this year. I want to mention that for the Bitcoin charts. Now let's pivot to altcoins. And before I do, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, itrustcapital. Buy and sell crypto, gold, and silver with your IRA. If you're a serious macro investor and you're just like, you know, you're going to be in the game for long term, and that could even mean you're selling bull market highs into USD, you're selling Bitcoin into altcoins, altcoins into Bitcoins. You're doing these macro moves, but you're in the game. You're in the crypto investment game. You can make those moves if you're not like trying to put that cash right into your bank account. If you're cashing out, you can make these moves tax-free within your crypto IRA in the long term. You can play cycles in the long term tax-free. I'm in the middle of a move right now within my own crypto IRA with itrustcapital, and it's just really nice not to. You can make these moves and be like, there's like no tax repercussion for doing what I'm doing, right? Right now, if you want to mess with your kind of more live portfolio in an exchange or something, boom, every move you make is tax, and you got to track that for the year. $14 billion in transactions, 200,000 accounts. So if you're a macro investor and you're serious, go click the link below, get set up with itrustcapital. It's incredibly simple to start, and there's so many benefits in doing so. So here's where we are. Let me just do it. So to give you a sense, there's that Bitcoin. This is the altcoin market cap chart, by the way, but that Bitcoin weekly move that we've been looking at to the 50-week moving average, like boom, boom. It's possible once again, right? These moves that are happening right there. Well, this is altcoin market cap when that move happened back in like August. Notice where it's hitting, 200-week moving average. And then again, 200-week moving average. This is a very clear just picture of even how more suppressed and compressed altcoins are than Bitcoin. Because remember, Bitcoin was going to the 50-week. Well, altcoins were going to the 200-week, the 200-week in red. The reason why I don't even want to do it is because look at this. We're at like $1.5 trillion. This 200-week is around just below 900 billion. This is a massive dip for altcoins. From just, if you're analyzing charts and you're looking at kind of these moves of how much more volatile these dips are on altcoins versus Bitcoin in a big Bitcoin consolidation, we have to be realistic and say it is in play. I don't feel like doing videos if we fall into an environment like this, right? Going into Q4, if it's this. There's so many people anticipating an insanely strong Q4, including myself. I'd not be surprised if we get the complete opposite. This has been how it has been this cycle. Everybody, the entire industry has been faked out every step of the way, it seems. So at this point, it's about being prepared for any scenario. There's a case I'm going to show you in a minute where we break higher. And this trend of hitting the 200, even if Bitcoin falls, this trend could be broken. And maybe altcoins consolidate quickly, but boom, they start outperforming Bitcoin. I'm going to show you that. But just to give you just that roundabout analysis here, just be prepared for it. I'm prepared for it. I will be here for it. I will be doing videos for it. It will not be fun, but I will be doing it because this is the game I've been playing, right? I've been in this crypto game doing these videos for we're going on almost 8-year anniversary here. I'm not stopping now, everybody. We have Clarity Act coming. We have a lot of incredible things going for the crypto space. And the fact that we have a cycle like never before, I think is a good indicator. It's a good thing. But it is testing resolve. Nobody said this was going to be easy. But let's talk about it. What if Bitcoin starts consolidating, right? And we're on the weekly chart here, and it does start falling to it's only a $15,000 move, by the way, everybody. This is not that massive of a move from where we are right now. It's like a 11% move. I don't think if Bitcoin were to make an 11% move, I don't think at the same time, without a high fear environment, something crazy going on, I don't think at the same time altcoins are falling 42%. Here's what could happen. Bitcoin could make that move, right? And at the same time, altcoins might dip, but they might see support finally at the 20 and 50, right? So it might be somewhere around here. And if that were to happen in the coming weeks, be prepared for it. But the bullish indicator to look for is if we get support there and we don't follow this trend of coming to the 200 week, because now check this out. We might be in this environment of altcoins about to break all-time high, similar to last cycle. But notice what was happening here the week of January 11th. Altcoins, green weekly candles, starting that uptrend, looking very nice. What was Bitcoin doing? January 2021. It was dipping. So this could be a scenario where Bitcoin's dipping, kind of like it was back here, right? So this time we're dipping. 50-week is in play, but altcoins maybe dipping momentarily, but starts outperforming Bitcoin. We could be in that moment right now. And the Bitcoin dominance chart is set up very nicely. So what I'm trying to do in this video is I'm trying to, not just for you, but for me, I'm trying to anticipate extreme downside and just tell myself, you know what, we've all been faked out. Maybe this happens again. We're not getting the crazy Q4. It's just terrible. But at the same time, I am trying to evaluate how these markets do surprise us in a very bullish way. This was altcoin season beginning last cycle. We might get a very similar thing this time around, right? So January, that second week of January, right here, Bitcoin dominance starts falling. Bitcoin dominance has already started falling. We might get a continuation of this as we evaluate these charts. And if altcoin markets do dip, even in the coming weeks, if they don't dip as harshly as, to this 200 week, this could be a very good sign for altcoins. So either way, everybody, I'm just trying to anticipate all scenarios. I'm macro bullish. I've been macro bullish since bear market lows. This has played out very nicely so far. And I still think the big breakout is coming for altcoins. Not to mention, we have, besides the clarity, interest rate stuff, we have all the altcoin ETF filings getting ready. No guarantee to be approved, but we're going to start getting some decisions in October. So we'll see how that plays out as well. So these are my thoughts today. I hope you're having a good weekend. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, turn notifications on. And if you're not in itrustcapital, shout out to them for sponsoring the video and get signed up with them. I appreciate all of you watching. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.